The manipulation and editing of audio clips easily within the playlist is another great feature of FL Studio 12. Like automation clips and pattern clips, you can easily edit, slice and manipulate audio clips, making it a great way of cutting up pre-made loops, for instance. It is very easy to do. What we've got here in our blank FL Studio project are the 4 main drum samples that FL Studio automatically loads whenever you create a new project. What we can do is then select one of these samples, such as the kick drum, and we can then look and load up the audio sample which it automatically loads up for you. We can then click and drag this into the playlist to create a new audio clip. Bear in mind that this is going to create a kick drum sound when you play it and click on it. Clicking and dragging this into the playlist then loads up our kick drum sample, which we can then edit and further manipulate just like we can with pattern clips or automation clips. What we can do is then hit the control key on your keyboard, use the mouse wheel to then zoom in on the audio clip, and we can then use things such as the slice tool, paint tool, delete tool, and all the other tools that you can use with pattern and automation clips to further manipulate this sample. So for instance, we can use the slice tool, slice up this kick drum sample, and then use the paint tool to then click and drag this and move it away from other parts of the audio clip. You can do this as much as you like to then really slice up and create a new interesting effect. When you click on that part of the kick drum sample and then use the paint tool, you can then paint in that part of the sample as much as you like, creating some very interesting sounds if you then hit the song/pattern mode button and play it back. As you can see, with further manipulation and further work, you could very easily use this tool in order to create some very interesting sounds. Within FL Studio, you can either make audio clips unique, like you can with pattern clips, or if you want only one small section of an audio clip, you can save it as its own sample, delete the original source file, and save on RAM for your system. So for instance, we can right-click on one of our samples here, and then hit Make Unique as Sample. This will then bring up a new dialog box where you can then decide what you're going to call the new sample name. So for instance, we'll call it Kick. Hit the Save button, and now that specific part of the sample is its own individual WAV file, which you can then further manipulate as you like. Saving as a new sample means that the rest of the original data from that audio clip will be deleted, and you'll be left with just the sample that you sliced, as you can see here. If I click and then drag this, and then try and open up the rest of the audio clip, you can see that I can't do that, and I can only close it up. Whereas with other parts of this sample, I can then click, drag it open, and you can see the rest of the sample. So it's very important to emphasize that when you save as a new sample, only the part that's within the pattern clip itself will actually be saved. Using these techniques, you can use FL Studio to very easily create new samples out of loops, for instance, and create your own beats very easily.